And welcome to prepaquatics.com. I am Skylar King. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at SkylarPrep, and you can email me, Skylar at prepaquatics.com. Our second quarterfinal, Fenwick at home with Flossmoor. Yet another rematch, as North New Trier was. And I think, even though it was earlier in the year at the Dan Lynch tournament, I think that it is probably a better comparison than it would have been if it was in April. Only because Matt Farmer was still playing when that game happened in March, and then wasn't, and now he's back. 15-5, Fenwick over home with Flossmoor, and it's obviously this is the biggest mismatch of all our quarterfinals. Now, I mean, the one thing that I'll say is I really like Jacoby McClellan in goal for home with Flossmoor. He scored 2 of their 5 goals in that game at the end of quarters. And granted, that's all kind of fluky, but this kid is super long and is just, I mean, he's really athletic in there, and I don't think that, you know, naturally you consider water polo to be a sport where athleticism is a huge factor, but he's got super long arms. He can cover a lot of space in that net. Unfortunately, I just don't think his defense is going to give him nearly enough help against the Fenwick field players, especially if Matt Farmer is playing anything like he was in the sectional final against Lyons Township. He was so aggressive, calling for the ball, and I just think that Fenwick could do any number of things. I mean, Farmer could go off for 10 goals in this game if he wanted to, but he'll just as easily get the other guys involved and, you know, find the open man, and it'll be a balanced scoring attack. And I think that's kind of what you saw this year with Matt Farmer out. You know, Bresnahan took a lot of the load, 86 goals. Matt's brother Danny, 40 goals, 24 goals apiece for Andrew Birchie and Omar Calderon. So they definitely learned to spread the wealth around, and I think that's what makes Trevor McLean 33 goals, Tony Perez 34 goals, Justin White 41 goals. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that are basically 25 goals or more, and so you know that. I mean, it's almost the best thing that could have happened for Fenwick's long-term success in this season was to miss Matt Farmer, because all these guys realized that, you know, we have to get it done without Matt, and they built up the confidence knowing that they could score goals on a consistent basis against everyone on their schedule. And now that Matt Farmer's back, you have a core of 8 guys, like we said, that all know they can score and do it at a high level. And that's just really scary for everyone else that's competing at the state tournament, because now Matt Farmer's back and he's going to be aggressive. But even in that game against LT, Bresnahan was still firing away. Everyone sort of knows that it's okay for them to shoot, and it's just so much unpredictability, especially because, you know, the natural thing to do is to collapse your defense on Matt Farmer, and LT wasn't able to do that quick enough. And even if you are quick enough, Matt Farmer's, no one's better than him at kicking the ball out at just the right moment to the open man, and now that man has the confidence to know that they can fire it away. For Flossmoor, Kevin Cookta, 129 goals on the season, and so he's definitely going to be the primary target of the Fenwick defense, and it's hard to believe that anyone else is going to have that much success against Fenwick scoring other than Cookta, but Fenwick could just as easily focus on him and shut him down. I think that the scary thing is Fenwick's probably significantly better than they were at that Dan Lynch tournament with what they've done throughout the season now, having Matt Farmer back. this is pretty much a name the score game for Kyle Perry's bunch, and he could certainly pull his primary players and play the backups in the late third, fourth quarter. But I'll say it's going to be something like 17-2 Fenwick over Homewood Flossmoor. I just don't see this one being very competitive, and even if it is, that's when Matt Farmer's going to take over this game late and make sure Fenwick wins in a variety of fashions, whether that be his great defense, his scoring, or his ability to get other guys involved. So that's Flossmoor Fenwick. Still 2 more to go. The other half of the bracket. So based on our 2 previews so far, we got Naperville North and Fenwick playing in what unfortunately will probably be the de facto state championship game. But still Stevenson Conant and Brother Rice Ignatius Catholic League battle to go. As always, you can email me, SkylandPrepAquatics.com. You can follow me on Twitter at SkylandPrep. Be up at Stevenson later today for the girls matchups. We'll see you up there. I am Skylar King, and you are watching PrepAquatics.com.